Tracy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from OH. Thank you. Ashland, Ohio. Yeah. Jeff loves it when we do that, by the way.
Listen, we don't have a problem with you guys. You guys have a problem with us, okay?
Right. We are in between Cleveland and Columbus, so we are within an hour of 3 major airports. We like to say that. Very rural. Mm-hmm. We sold in 14 counties this year, 31 different towns and cities, because it's a seller's market, and you know what happens when there's nothing for sale really close. You either starve or you travel. So my team does a really good job of traveling. You said something in one of them where if, I forget what we were watching with you, but you're like, hey, if I had $5,000 waiting on you an hour away, would you drive to go get that check?
Sure would.
My team's an example of that. They will absolutely drive. If somebody is ready, willing, and able to buy, we'll drive there. We try not to do too many listings that are that far away, sure, because it's a matter of access, but they absolutely are willing to travel. Yep. I've personally been in the business 5 years. My team is just now 4. We're 4 years old.
You have 4 agents doing how many deals?
100, what did we say,
168.
Yeah, and they're all 2 years or less. I have one that's 3 years.
And your personal production is 60 homes a year?
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So you're in the trenches with your people. And your top sources of business, you're still getting a good amount of business from Zillow.
Absolutely.
So talk to us about that. What does that approach look like with your team?
Okay, so we have, similar to you, we have a Zillow schedule. We keep 2 to 3 agents on a day. The phone rings, whoever gets to it answers it, they set the appointment, they go out. You know, we do like on buyer's consultations on our feet. They don't ask them to come to the office. We try not to pre-qualify. We do the ALM. The first thing we say is, hey, do you want an appointment?
Yep, give them what they're asking for.
The Realtor.com, we have an auto text that's like, hey, you want to see a house? When are you available? That's it. And they're responding to us more so than they do anybody else, because all we're asking them is, when are you available to see the house? Yep. That's it. Yep. And then we deal with the details when we get there.
So how do you manage the frequency of the follow-up, the 3x3x3?
I stalk them.
Yeah.
I stalk them. We have Boomtown, so all the leads go directly into Boomtown. And in addition to that, I have on my schedule that Coach Z looks at weekly, because my schedule reflects my goals these days. So Sundays, I have time carved out that I listen to the Zillow calls. Like, I know a lot of us buy these calls and we expect our agents to perform, but how many of us are actually sitting down and listening to the recordings and like, what are they saying? Yep. So when we've got the other people, you know, on Sundays, you guys are yelling for your football teams and stuff like that. If my husband's in a different part of the room, he hears, you know, he's like, who are you yelling at? Because I'm like, set the appointment, you know, because they know Monday there's coaching. And I'm like, what happened with this call, you guys? Why did you talk to them for 15 minutes? Yeah. Where was the appointment?
Where were you going with that?
And they know, they know when they answer those calls that Tracy's going to listen to them calls, and there's certain, you know, like, if they're like.
Well, and honestly, if I'm in the room, you know, whether I'm with a brokerage, a team, or I'm a big brokerage, small brokerage, whatever, there's a lot of value in listening to those calls one-on-one, because you're going to hear things you do. You're, wow, I always say this. I say this a lot. I want, you know, you're going to find things that you can improve on just by listening to those calls. So everyone in here should, regardless of, you know, what the lead source is, if there's an opportunity to get recordings of those calls, do so for yourself.
Yeah.
So speed to lead, I know, is a big thing. I know you're following the ALM model. Did you switch to that? Were you doing something different beforehand, or were you always doing ALM?
We were trying to always set the appointment first. I know back when I first started working leads, we were doing the LP Mama.
The what?
The LP Mama, location, price, motivation, area, you know, the mortgage. Are they pre-approved? Are they?
They don't want that today.
No, it's too much.
Yeah, it is.
It's too much.
Yep. So go right for the appointment. How would you respond to an agent that says, well, okay, but what if they're not pre-approved? You're going to do that without a buyer consultation? What's your response to that?
We give them one.
You give them one. What does that mean?
We give them one. So if somebody wants to set an appointment, we set the appointment. We go to the house, we show them the house, everybody gets one. Regardless, there are exceptions to that rule because we have like $30,000 or $40,000 houses that are
Sure.
like in a really bad part of town and they're
Yeah.
vacant. I
Yeah.
ask for a pre-approved.
You're mindful of that. You're going to use your gut
so
with some of
be
those.
safe with that.
But even if you know they're not pre-approved, you're going to get face-to-face because you never know what one, and I mean, listen, I know that there's dozens, probably hundreds of success stories in the audience. Everyone can think of like one time they took a chance on a low-end lead or whatever, and it turned into, a $60,000 lead turned into 6 deals and $30,000 in commissions later or something like that.
Absolutely.
We all have those. So
Sure do.
give them one and
Yes.
then do the location and motivation and pre-approval all that second.
And what I tell my agents, there's a couple of them over there, if you show just that one house, it's an act of kindness, so it's that reciprocity we talk about. And even if that buyer can't buy that house, the next Zillow call that comes in, because it's going to come in because it's a new listing, that call comes in and now all of a sudden you're the area expert because you've already been through that house. You know what it looks like, you know what it smells like, and when the next caller that is pre-approved and is ready to go calls and says, hey, I want to see this house. Oh yeah, I was just in it yesterday. The light switch doesn't work, whatever, so here we are. This is great, right?
Yep.
It's practice, and it's not to change the mindset from you're wasting my time to this is an opportunity. What can I learn? How can I be better?
Yep.
So it's just a mindset.
Yep, love that. Your personal business, most of yours comes from your database.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that, because we've heard database a lot. So are you talking about your social media database? What database are you referring to?
For me, it is all social media.
Social media. So you buy into the idea that your social media is a database.
Correct.
So tell me about that.
Well, I didn't realize it was a database until you pointed it out to me. I do this thing where I am on social media. I pay attention. There's an agent that I was just talking to at break, and she's moved to a couple different brokerages. She's been through a lot of stuff, and I saw her, I gave her a hug. I'm like, hey, welcome back. I knew about when she lost her dog. I knew when she moved back to Ohio. And because I pay attention, and it's important to me.
Yeah.
If my friends are going through something tragic, they normally post it on social media. I'm not in those circles. I'm not near my friends anymore, but I can see, oh my goodness, that person is hurting. I'll send flowers. I send Cheryl's cookies. I send Henry and David's, or if they post that, their grandma died. Normally when there's an obituary posted, you guys, there's a little button at the bottom that says send flowers. I hit the damn button. It doesn't cost that much. And they're like, oh wow, Tracy really cares about me. Even if I wasn't physically there, I write a little note and I send flowers. They know that I saw that. I mean, it's more than just liking.
Liking and commenting, right.
And comment. Maybe it was one of yours that I was at someone, it was like 5. Like when you're looking at social media, try to comment on 5 different posts a day.
Yeah.
And
we've now built that into the schedule.
Yeah, and that's not easy, but I'll get on there and I will comment. I'll make a joke. I try not to pick fights with people.
Yeah.
That's not going to win.
Stay away from those.
That's not going to win me any business. Like if I disagree with them, it's not really their business.
We talk about getting to 5,000 friends. You got there?
I've been there.
So what's your process for that? How'd you get to 5,000 friends, and how do you know who to let into that?
So when I was a new agent, I'm a lifelong learner, and these kind of things get me so excited. Every time they tell me to do something, I'm like, I want to do all the things.
Yep.
I want to do all the things. I need to be Facebook famous. So when I got back from this conference 5 years ago, I was like, I'm going to be Facebook famous.
Yep.
I'm going to like all these people. So anybody that had at least 20 friends in common with me, I sent them a friend request.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to be friends with everybody.
Yep.
Whoa, so now, not everybody I friended is my friend.
Yeah.
So I will look at that, and when I'm on my feed, if I see something that I feel like is like, ooh, like that's making me not have a good day, I will immediately click on that profile, and I'm like, is this person having a bad day, or is this person somebody I don't need to see their opinion every day? Sure. And I will just unfriend them. So for me, I take the birthday kind of thing to a next level. Like I do say happy birthday, and I can see if they're gone. But if there's people on my feed that aren't adding value to my life or my business, or just
Yeah.
positive impact, I'm just removing them.
Well,
That way
and
I
by
don't
the way,
have to
that's
look at
smart
it.
because you're a positive person. So when they see your stuff, you know, they get jealous or envious
Yeah.
or whatever. So they're not going to send you business anyways. Just forget them.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So one of the steps, and I don't know if you do this, but something that we've been teaching for a while when it comes to adding friends on Facebook, click on their face, see what they do.
Yeah.
So long as they don't sell real estate in your town, add them.
Yes.
Because, first of all, we want them to be local, because that could be a potential buyer or potential seller. Now, if your job is to recruit and train agents, then you would do that with real estate agents, and that goes for agents all over the country, or in your market if you were recruiting to, say, your specific brokerage.
Yeah.
But when it comes to everyday buyers and sellers, you click on their face, you see what they do. So long as they're employed in your market, you add them. And they're more than likely going to accept your friend request because they see that you have mutual friends. So you've been doing that.
Yes, I have.
All right, good.
And my past clients, we text and call and we're on the phone constantly. And then when they want to sell, they hit me on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, you didn't program me in? We were friends
Yeah.
2 years ago. Like, what's up with that?
Yep.
No, I get the Messenger all the time. Like, I had 3 this year that hit me on Facebook Messenger. They're like, hey, I'm ready to sell my house. I'm like, you got my phone number? Well, this is easier. I'm like, okay.
So Tracy, I know that you've been involved in quite a few of our programs. I don't necessarily, I'm not asking you this to sell the audience for us. I just want to know, like, which one or two have you been through that made a major impact, and what was that impact that you implemented, or just talk a little bit about that.
Just a little bit. I guess. Okay. I'm checking.
2 minutes or less.
Yeah. Well, the prior session that he had with Kim, like, Kim's my coach, Kim Z.
Yep.
Where are you at? Yeah, right? I was like, man, I was texting her. I'm like, all these people are going to get to know you. How many slots do you have open? Like, you guys aren't going to bump me off her slot because they're going to see what I get and they're going to want to be coached by her. And no, you can, but I'm not leaving that slot. We've done, I have my ops team with me today, transaction coordinator, listing coordinator, my husband is director of operations, and our new showing specialist. We have a buyer's agent, and our loan officer partner is also with us today.
Yeah.
So we're all here involved. There's a couple agents at home. My ops crew, Megan has taken 2 classes with you guys. Carly just finished a class with Taylor. I'm trying to talk my husband into taking the one with you.
Yeah.
So I've taken CEO to salesperson. I've been at Traverse City. We went to Lead Up.
Yeah.
We've been here.
Yeah.
And Traverse.
Which one was the greatest impact and why?
Really? Come on.
Pick one.
Come on.
Lead Up, probably?
Lead Up I love. Yeah, I went home and fired people, and it totally it lifted my lid. I was like, I'm like, yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
because Lead Up is advanced training for
Yes.
people who want to be better leaders.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I absolutely loved Lead Up. I was, and I feel this way now, and if you guys have been around Jeff, you'll hear him say, like, he would sneak into rooms where he didn't quite qualify because he wanted to be in those conversations
Yeah.
where he didn't quite qualify to be there. And I feel like that on this stage now, you guys. I'm like, holy crap, I'm on this stage. I hope I can provide something for you guys. I really do. But being in even like Lead Up, like I'm like, I qualified for Lead Up and I'm in there, and like these people are so high-minded and so like they're doing things at such a high level. Trent, I'm sitting beside you, I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Oh, he's already
Like-
on my list for a speaker at Lead Up.
Right on.
Yep.
Um,
You want to come back to Florida? It's in May. We'll talk later.
You know, we are surrounded by those people, like those people we surround ourselves with. That's who,
Yep.
you know, Jose liked to say I'm number 2 in his market center because he's number 1. I'm like, I'm coming after him. He
Well,
keeps teaching me, so I'm
yeah.
coming after him.
Hey, listen, as he better start showing up to these then more too, otherwise you are going to beat him.
Yep, you got that right.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Let's hear for it.